Well, we are watching a couple of systems over the next few days, one in the Midwest, one in the Northeast, and the Pacific Northwest gets a little bit of a break. So once again, we've got quite a bit of fog across the central U.S., same stagnant air mass in place. You get that warmer, moist air moving over colder air, and it just kind of locks in the fog. Red flag warnings in western Texas, winter weather advisories across parts of the Rockies into the northern plains, and we're watching a system that will be making its way into the Great Lakes here later in the week too. So first system we're watching is this one moving across the Dakotas. Some snow, rain, kind of a wintry mix that's going to move across the central U.S. But hey, we actually have some higher pressure moving into the Pacific Northwest. It's not going to give them sunshine, but give them largely a dry break here over the next couple of days. They've seen a ton of moisture, up to 2 feet of liquid equivalent precipitation here over the last 14 days. Now, a lot of that's falling in the form of snow, of course, in the mountains. So when we look at precip anomalies, yeah, many inches above normal all across the Pacific Northwest. We've been talking about this for a while here. They've just been getting slammed with one system after another. Largely a break today. There are some showers around Seattle and on the Washington side of things, and you can see more clouds off to the west. Another system will be moving in here for midweek, but for now, a little bit of a drier break. But as we head into tomorrow, that next system will start to move in and make its way across Oregon, Washington, Northern California, Wednesday into Thursday. And there's another system lined up behind that for the end of the week too. So more water and snow on the way for the Pacific Northwest. In fact, several inches more of precip here, Northern California and up through Washington and Oregon, and in the form of snow here in the higher elevations of Oregon, the mountains of Washington and Oregon, really just getting tons of snow so far this season, and there's more on the way. Now that system in the northern plains, that's producing some snow across South Dakota, rain on the warm side, even a wintry mix, moving across Nebraska, Iowa into Missouri, and Illinois here eventually by tomorrow. Chicago probably will get a mix of rain and snow, and snowfall accumulations largely will be highest in the mountains, but also across parts of South Dakota and Nebraska, and then really kind of taper off as we head into Iowa and Illinois. It's going to be mainly rain and kind of a mix of precip here, but a swath of a narrow area of a ½ inch to an inch of mostly rainfall here across northern Missouri, southern Iowa, into Illinois, including Chicago, northern Indiana into Ohio, and potential for a little bit of some ice too. Southwestern Minnesota into eastern South Dakota, and also maybe around the Quad Cities could see a little bit of ice, as well as into parts of Michigan. Now that same system is going to continue to track east and move towards Pennsylvania, Ohio, upstate New York, starting as rain, turning over to snow though. And that's why we have some winter storm watches here across parts of western New York, upstate New York, because they'll get some snow from that system, but they're also going to get a boost from the lakes. The Great Lakes here, combined with colder air moving in late in the week, will produce some really incredible snowfall amounts, it looks like here. So very mild air, as we've been seeing for the last 7 days, but that's going to be replaced by colder air later in the week. That'll turn on the lake effect snow machine in addition to that system. So we call that lake enhanced snowfall. You get a normal system boosted by the lake. So over a foot of snow potentially here in parts of upstate New York, around Buffalo, also Erie, Pennsylvania, some of those typical spots that get nailed look to do so here later in the week. And we're replacing what's been a very mild 7 to 10 days with some colder air finally, just in time for January. It's been anomalously warm really across the entire continent over the last 7 days. But look at, we flipped the script here. This is January 2nd to the 9th. Temperature anomalies much colder for the north central U.S. and most of the eastern U.S. up through the western parts of Canada. Well, the west coast gets some above normal temperatures. So get ready for some cold and snow for some of us.